Okay, guys, nice to meet you. It's good to see you here. I'm going to set a timer for 14 minutes and 30 seconds, so that I can do this properly. Because I don't want to go over the 15 minutes. Um, let's see here, timers. How do you do this? There we go. Okay. Now, I'm going to be reading to you from the Luciferian Bible, which is called the Bible of the Adversary. And this Bible is a Luciferian Bible. And I've made some notes, but I wanted to go and do a book club type thing. I don't know who's going to watch this, but it's pretty interesting so far. Okay. Dedicated to Azal Usel, my personal demon who inspires the path. I also dedicate this tome to Lucifer, Lilith, Samael, and Arashk, those who recognize the motto as above, so below. The adversarial flame edition is also dedicated to Luciferians living in this world who has contributed to expanding the awareness of the path. There is one law: trespass all spiritual laws, be without yoke. Original sin is a lie against man and woman. The only sin is submission to slavery. May the torch shine brightly and cast a great shadow. Okay, let me see if I can go to my note. I disagree. It's not wrong to accept guidance, but blind submission is wrong and it's abuse. So I wanted to highlight here that it's saying that sin is a lie against man and woman. Now, later on, it says that to go against all spiritual, to sin on purpose. Now, I want to go forth and say, this is probably directly attacking the Bible. The Bible says, "Thou shalt not murder." So if we go and murder every person that we see, that's not going to end well for us, and it's the path of the fool. So I don't fully agree with that. Introduction. To attempt to define a faith can be a difficult task. It can also be a beautiful and challenging path which defines the essence of a system of beliefs. Luciferianism is not a faith but a philosophy, which is, depending on the individual, balanced with a deeply connected spiritual and material approach. In 2015, Luciferianism was unveiled and introduced to the public with the first Luciferian church in Spring, Texas. Now, I live in San Antonio, Texas. I would have loved to go to this, but they closed it. During those days of our grand opening, I recognized the wonderful reality of Luciferianism and how magic is a force to be built and directed. The adversary was identified within the philosophy of the 11 Luciferian points of power. The adversarial spirit was made manifest in many who have successfully applied our philosophy, and some have journeyed upon the path of magical initiation. Being a practitioner of the Luciferian path, in the beginnings of my work, I only sought to publish through Luciferian witchcraft a grimoire of my workings, which were defining practices differently. I never thought to build a faith, and especially not a Bible. I considered dogma sickening and ill-defined. Chaos was not only the rule, it was the law. Yet wisdom is often like a serpent. It may find its way into the most steadfast foundation to grow and illuminate within. Upon numerous rituals, focus points, and all the works written, I felt a surge, a fire, calling, a greater purpose than anything I've ever done. My goal was simple yet daunting: to find the Luciferian faith. I have crossed yet another path which I never could foresee. What you have here is something inspired, a book which I hope will continue to illuminate many more for a very long time to come. I think every walk of life can benefit from it, offering a cultivation of mental and physical strength, self-accountability through self-realized goals. It is also a found faith via validation. The Luciferian path and the various satanic ideas may now be brought to one. The use of faith is not found in the beginnings. Complete trust in the self is validated from the wisdom and insight of apotheosis, becoming a god. Once you have established your personal spirituality, nothing can disturb the foundations you have created. I have included several articles dedicated to prominent black adepts from the Order of Phosphorus, so much contribution to the adversarial current. May you find this work useful. May you grow in the illumination of the Luciferian flame. To the adversary who stimulates our life to rise above sun and moon, to reign below in darkest night, hail thou motivator of humanity. Luciferian points of power. The foundation of Luciferian philosophy is presented in the following 11 points. In 2014, along with Jeremy Crow and Hope Marie Ford, our will, desire, and belief was focused into establishing the world's first Luciferian church in a dedicated building. This was not only a great magical working, it was also an experiment of introducing Luciferianism to the public. Our philosophy is clearly transformative and was revealed to a wide-eyed world with very successful results. We soon began to structure and undertake a public Luciferian church as a working of greater magic as Anton LaVey defined it. I found the Luciferian laws were too esoteric for the public to comprehend. Thus, I had the opportunity to identify and present our philosophy easily. The 11 points were composed from the Luciferian laws and adversarial doctrine, simplying, I think it's supposed to say simplifying, our clear philosophy and the way of perceiving and approaching both thought and actions within the world. Lucifer represents the light of intellect, wisdom, and power unique to the individual with the courage to ascend to this responsibility. And my note says, Jesus had the power to break the veil, or has the power to break the veil, and he can do so through me, because I proved to him that there sometimes faith is hard, and we don't have enough guidance. I want to join Lucifer on his quest to be the heavenly prosecutor, the accuser, and I want to be compared to Lucifer with the knowledge of my gifts and limitations. Well, considering that this religion says that you're going to be a god, my goals are not that high. So, I don't think I'm reaching. The symbol of adversary is that of the self-liberator and spiritual rebel who inspires self-evolution. I can worship God and Lucifer if I offer all the worship of Lucifer to God, and if I'm doing it to test Lucifer, test the spirits. Lucifer represents the balanced torchbearer of Venus, the light bringer as the morning star and the night bringer of the evening star. I am the veil breaker. The adversary symbolizes the spark of consciousness, which questions everything, manifesting the individualistic path with accountability only to the self. I love Lord Lucifer. The fall of Lucifer symbolizes the liberation of the mind from the slave mentality and the courage to explore and master the darkness within. One may not offer the illumination of the morning star without the wisdom of the darkness within. I need knowledge of my inner darkness. The adversary represents rebellion with purpose, wisdom, strength, and power. He is a beautiful shining light. Lucifer represents the courage and fortitude to acquire healthy self-love, leading to the responsibility of honoring your temple of mind, body, and spirit. I need to work on my own self-love. To become your own God, you must have the wisdom and strength to govern and guide your life as if your mind is to survive beyond the mortal body. I completely agree with this. If you were going to be a god, you would have to make sure that your mind is strong. Indulgence with restraint, love for the deserving, and disdain for those undeserving. I don't believe in judging others yet. You know what else I want to say about that is, like, who knows who is undeserving and who is deserving? Is it a personal opinion? What gives you the right to decide? Okay, and then Lucifer represents the insight that every act, no matter if perceived as selfless, is at core a selfish act. I agree with this. Even if helping others is your passion, the brain still receives a chemical reward triggered by the act. Therefore, many consider that by doing good deeds in society may bring you closer to God. Recognize that you are selfish, then see this fact in all others while observing. Accept this, and then with this knowledge, make choices that would benefit not only yourself but your loved ones when possible. If we can acknowledge that everything we do is selfish, then we can try not to be selfish. We could try. I'm not saying we would succeed every time, but maybe we could try. To become a god is to fully understand that you possess the power to create and sustain your path in life and illuminate the light of self-determined potential. Lucifer represents wisdom found through self-exploration. Lucifer represents rejection of accepted truths, instead to explore possibilities. Lucifer symbolizes rebellion with a purpose, knowledge, wisdom, and power. Lucifer represents utilizing fantasy and symbolism to open the gates of hell. The underworld is the world of power. See, I don't know if they believe that hell is real or not, because I don't know if the underworld is the world of power, and I don't know if fantasy opens the gates of hell. Lucifer represents balance spiritually and physically, that light and darkness are equally important to the mental and physical health of individuals. I agree. I don't think that heaven would be healthy if it was only light. Lucifer represents self-deification with earned compassion and the value of loved ones. Lilith represents the wisdom and instinctual power of both woman and man, that the feminine is the motivator of all life. Lilith represents independence and freedom of spirit. I kind of had this image when I was reading this, that Lucifer and Lilith together did this as like a pet project. Like, they inspired Michael Ford to write this Bible together as like a couple. Lilith represents sexual liberation and the desire to seek what you wish, with responsibility in regard to the law. Lilith represents the thirst for continued existence in time, the immortality of spirit beyond flesh. Lilith represents the darkness surrounding the light of godhood, the bearing flame of her mate Samael. I don't know. Everybody says that Samael and Lilith are together, but then everybody else says that Lucifer and Lilith are together. I'm like, is Samael Lucifer, or is Lilith Lucifer? Is Lucifer, Lilith, and Samael the same creature? What about Satan? The Book of Andor, Fire, the adversary. That I am ancient among civilizations, bringing the torch of flame which ignites the common clay and burns with life. My names are many, each commanding and concealing a specific type of power and energy, not only within nature, but also within you. Samael, Ashtar, Chemosh, Apollonius, Helios, Athtar the rebel, Apollyon the king of the bottomless pit, Orions, Ea, Prometheus, and let us not forget Lucifer. Ancient man honored me as the conquering light bringer. Ancient woman honored my consorts in their various massive power and energy. Hecate, Phosphorus, Artemis, Ashtaroth, Astarte, Inanna, Ishtar, and so many more. I am along with my consort manifest in the morning and evening star, Eos, Phosphorus, and Vesperus. See, I don't know what any of that means. Many have called me devil or Satan. This does not insult me, as I am the enemy of the slave religions and the death-worshipping cult of Jehovah. And I did make a point here. Jesus rose from the dead. See, I'm a Christian Luciferian. I don't know if I want to be God. I want to be a sex god. Yeah, I want to be a sex god. The ethereal trumpet is sounded from the dark abode of Tartarus, for this is your call to ascend with me. Be in the mask of the devil or some dark... Oh. So now I gotta end the video and I will start another one.